Hey there, I'm going to video how to install a circuit in our Pleasureway van. So if you want to see how to do it, just follow along. I'm going to take a bunch of small clips and put them together into hopefully a movie when I'm done. I've never done it before, so here we go. It's a learning curve. All right, I'm in the van with my 1950s Cafe Ramo. Beautiful, quiet, beautiful hot heater. I'm going to install my power outlet, which is this little guy here. It's got USB plugs, power. It's going to run my 2 heated beds and my 12-volt refrigerator. I'll keep you posted. All right, so I just removed the cover off of my power distribution panel, and you can see I've got all the ones with fuses are used, and the ones without fuses are not used. I've got 4. I've got 1 at each end and 2 kind of 3/4 of the way down. So I'm going to tie into one of those. I'm going to do my videos in little short bursts, and I'll do my best to tie them all together to make some sense of it in the end. Anyway, I got to go now, and I got to shut the 110 power off and the 12-volt power. So that'll be unplugging from the house and shutting the big red battery disconnect key off. Okay, so I got the main power unplugged. I'm going to switch off my power supply, pull the key out. Everything should be good. I'm going to turn on a few circuits to drain any residual power. Then I'm going to take this out. Okay, so there's 4 screws in each corner. I've removed them all. I'm going to pull this out. Excuse my camera footage. Everything's pretty chilly in here. Doesn't want to move too well. Anyway, I'm going to pull it out. You can see I've got, if I can see them, these 4 yellow things are not connected. That's the extra circuits. I'm going to tie into one of them. Okay, so there's the little tip. I just cut that one off. Sorry, it was the white ones, not the yellow. And I'm going to pull that out, my harness, and it goes to that fuse. One of those fuses. I'll figure it out in a minute. Now down below, that aluminum block with screws in it, that's a ground bar. I'm going to test my circuit right away with a this little guy here, continuity tester. If I had somebody to hold the everything here, I'd show you how it works. Okay, so that aluminum bar down there, right here, is the ground. I'm going to undo that screw, and I'm going to put in my black ground wire. Okay, so I got the ground in, and I'm holding this continuity tester into the ground lead that I just installed. I'm going to try, I don't know if I can do this or not, set this up. So this is ground. So you can see this is the rivet that holds the ground bar on the back of the box. So I do have ground, and it's going to run off of this circuit here. So I just got to hook up my red power, and I'll have a working circuit. Okay, I apologize for the camera angle. I just don't have enough hands. All right, so here's the red line off the circuit that I'm going to use. And this is my new wire that I'm going to splice in here to feed my lines. I have a butt connector. This is a little bit of a heavier wire. It's not big, no big deal. I think this is the, what does this say, 10, 12. And these must be 14 or something. Anyway, there's no marking on it. But that's going to hook onto there. And I'll take some pictures as I go. And I'll keep you posted. Okay, I got my 1 butt connector on. I'm just going to check the continuity. I've got it on the one side from the box. So it's going to go to this circuit here. And I got a good circuit. Now I'm going to hook on the other wire. Okay, so now I've got the other wire crimped on into the butt connector. I'm going to check the continuity of the circuit. So I'm hooking onto where that fuse is going to go in. And if I can hold still, as you can see, we've got a good connection. All right, so I've just put shrink wrap over the whole joint here. Just gonna get that shrunk up a little bit more. Okay, I got the shrink wrap on. I was a little aggressive with the flame, but other than that, I want to know I got a good connection. Down the road, if you got problems, you know, if you did a shoddy job, well, it's gonna surface. Anyway, that's that. Okay, I'm gonna remove my safety alert carbon monoxide detector. Now, a couple weeks back, I fixed this. Since we got the van, it never worked, and I did all kinds of troubleshooting. When I pulled it out, it had been changed in 2018, so it was still good. I'm just checking where I can drill a hole. And it looks like there's a piece of... Alright, so I'm going to put the new circuit and wire back into the cavity. And I'm going to bring it out of this hole here. And then I'm going to wire them up out here, because chances are in the future, I don't have to pull all that out. I can just pull this out and get to that wire. I'm also going to mark things with tape in the back end, so the next happy owner will know what this is all about. There you go, just like that. Okay, so if you're ever in here working, this is something that you got to watch for. I just happened to see it. It's kind of dark in here, but see, there's a little plug in here. That has to be plugged in if you want to have 110. Anyway, it comes out very easy apparently, because I didn't pull it out, but anyway, it probably came out when I pulled the panel. So I'm glad I noticed that. It's important to look around what you're doing. Okay, so I'm just gonna screw the panel back in. And not that I can see very well over here in the dark, but it's going. Just a minute, I'm gonna start from here, where I can see. It's very dim out here today. It's very gray and rainy and cold. Okay, got that one in. I just went loosely. I'll push the other side in. See if we can line it up. There we go, that one's in. And I'll put in the other two. And I'll snug everything down, put the cover on. And then I'm going to go on to my wiring job. And when I energize the system, you'll all know about it. Hopefully, everything goes good. Alright, panel's back in. Put the cover back on. I do got to put my 10 amp fuse in yet. And that's going to go into that slot right there, number 8. And if you look at my panel, I redid everything. But the LP detector, the one I told you it had no fuse in there and was not marked, is in number 9. Okay, and I'm using number 8 for this 12 volt panel, so I will mark that as well. The panel cover goes on with one single screw in the middle, right there. Okay, so also what I did when I had to rewire this, fix up the last mess up, I put spade connectors on because these got to be changed every 10 years. So the new one, when I change it, I'll just put spade connectors on and plug it in. So these are the main circuit wires coming from the box that I just wired in. And these little guys here are from this 12 volt distribution thing. Now I was going to, you know, twist them together or whatever. I'm not going to do that. I'm going to use wire nuts, and then that way if I have to change it down the road or do anything down the road, I pull it out through this access port. I've got myself lots of wire here that I can work on it or do whatever. So I'll proceed with that and I'll get ready for the next post. Okay, so when I got this thing, obviously people who had it before were trying to fix that broken LP detector, and they didn't know, and they tried to pry this off, so this panel was kind of bent. So once I figured out how this whole panel worked, I marked it, pull, push, so I can get easily into my panel box. And I got my brand new 10 amp fuse I'm going to put in there. I don't know if I can see or not. I might have to shut the camera off while I take the light. Actually, I will do that. All right, so I got my fuse in, and I got this just kind of wired together for testing. And then I'm going to secure this. I'm going to put the, black tape, all that stuff, wiring. Bonus to this little thing I got, it's got a voltmeter on it. So I can tell the situation. That's one thing. I don't have to get out of bed to go check my volts. Anyway, the electric fridge, it has a safety cutoff, so if it drains your battery, you can set it to go, the lowest I think is 10.8, and then it shuts itself off. The beds, however, will drain until it's done. But the beds, we're just going to turn them on for like an hour before bed to hot them up, and then shut them off. That should be enough. Anyway, I will button things up here. The circuit's working, the panel's on. I just got to do a nice clean up here, and then I'm going to plug in the beds and the fridge, and we'll see how that goes. Okay, I'm ready to button things back up. You can see my detector is flashing. They say once you power things on, it's going to flash for up to 10 minutes. Anyway, everything's powered and connected. I got my little switch here. I can put that on. 13 volts in the battery. I don't have the 110 power on right now. I'm going to go out and plug that in shortly. So I'm just drawing off the battery. And then once I got everything hooked up, I'm going to turn them on. I'm going to go inside, have coffee, and then I'll come back and I'm going to measure the bed temperature and the fridge temperature, and hopefully everything's good. Okay, so I'm just going to get the vacuum and clean this up. I do have double-sided tape I'm going to use to attach this box up underneath here, probably like that. But it's too cold today. The tape probably won't stick. And I also have these cable management things, and you stick them on, and then you can run your cables through there. I'm going to use that to hold the cables up off the floor. And I'll probably run the 12-volt cable for the fridge and just leave it attached when I unplug the fridge, because I don't really use the fridge anywhere else. But we can use the fridge up there between the seats as well when puppy dog doesn't want to sleep there, I guess. Anyway, it's convenient here and it's out of the way. Okay, I've got one bed is on low, one bed's on high, and I'm going to hook up the fridge. Just going to get my vacuum out of the way. So the fridge has got, those of you interested in the fridge, it's got a 12-volt outlet and a 110 outlet. So I'm going to hook that up, and then I'll post you a picture. Okay, so I just powered on the fridge. It's set at 4 Celsius. This bed is flipped to high, and this bed is flipped to low. And this is going to be roughly mounted there, and all the wires and all that don't interfere with anything. And I can see my voltage on there as well. And if I want, I can press the button, shut one off. I'll mark what these are for. Bed 1, bed 2. This is his bed. I'm going to keep shutting that one off. Let him freeze. There we go. And that's the fridge, the last one. Most important is this one. That's my bed, and I want to have it hot. There you go. All right. Going to go for coffee. And if the fire alarms don't sound, I'll know everything's okay. Anyway, I'll do a follow-up when I come back out in about an hour. So what I like about this fridge for the van is we can still put our table up, and we can still use our drawers just like that. And the dog's bed, she sleeps on top of there. But also you can just reach in, get your stuff out. The fridge is running right now. Listen how quiet that is. I can barely hear it up here. Like, I can hear more road noise outside my house. So that's good. Anyway, everything on. 13.1 in the battery, 13.1 in the battery. This bed is nice and toasty warm I'm sitting on. I'm going to actually measure the temperatures when I get back. These are like heated car seats, so once you sit on them, the heat starts to come through. And if you got a blanket on top of you, I'm sure it'll be lovely. There's plenty of snow out here, and the reason I wanted them is exactly not camping in the snow, but late fall and early May. Going to East Coast, it's not very warm there at night. I read anyway, that's what I read. Plus 2 to 8 degrees, and I like to be cozy, so this is a must-have for me. Anyway, I'll keep you posted. Okay, it's a miserable cold day out here. The wind is howling. I'm gonna go back in, had my coffee. Here's my little smart car. Let's see. Take my shoes off. Toasty and warm in here. Alright. So, we still got everything. It's 13.5. Oh, this bed's toasty. Let's see what it says here. 18. 13. So there is a definite difference from low to high. This one, I shoved a thermometer in here just to see what that reads. Oh, lovely. That reads like a lovely balmy 75 degrees, but I would say it's closer to 70 because I don't know the accuracy of that thermometer. Anyway, this bed is like sitting on your heated car seats. I think it's going to be lovely. Now, I kicked my shoes off. I gotta put them back on. Now, we're going to check our fridge. It's showing pretty chilly. Hang on. Out in here. Ooh. How are we at here? Minus 8.4. I have it set to -4. Oh, that's there's chiller bars that go around the outside edge. So anyway, I'm gonna set this fridge up because I don't need it as a freezer. I'll set it to 4 Celsius is a good fridge temperature. Anyway, I'm going to also, if I can do this, I don't know if I can or not. Reading on this here. Oh, there you go. That's the heated bed mat. 24.6 on that one. And then on this one, let me just see if I can get it in there. Enough. Okay. And this one's on low. And that's running about 20 Celsius. Beautiful. Beautiful. Cold weather camp. Now, I got all my blankets on top and I get in there and I'm toasty warm. Alright. So that's my project, folks. It's all done. I just got to mount this, like I said. Fix up a few little things and we're good to go. Keep smiling. Enjoy the simple things in life like a heated bed.